Hello everyone. A while ago, I made a video comparing Google Gemini's CLI with Google Antigravity, and it sparked a lot of great discussion. One comment in particular from a viewer named Izat Tursunov. I apologize if I'm pronouncing the name incorrectly, but the comment really struck a chord with me, and I think it resonates with a lot of us in the tech world right now. We have all seen the AI is just a tool arguments, and well, I have also made the same argument. But the comment from Izat cuts through the noise. Izat writes, "We juniors are constantly being reassured and motivated, but reality looks different. AI has already come very close to us. It feels like reaching even 10% of the knowledge of experienced developers now requires disproportionately more effort than before. We learned for years, AI learns instantly. There's a growing feeling that instead of being developed, we are being pushed in the opposite direction, forced to simplify our thinking, shift responsibility onto tools, and gradually become duller. Today, a junior developer feels that the gap between learning and mastery isn't shrinking. It's changing shape and becoming an impossible mountain to climb." First off is that thank you for this incredibly articulate and honest comment. You have voiced a very real anxiety that many developers, especially those that are just starting out, are feeling. It's a valid fear and it deserves a serious conversation. It feels like the goalposts are moving faster than we can run. To understand where we are, I think it's helpful to look at where we have been. This feeling that technology is about to make human labor obsolete is actually a recurring pattern in history. Let's go back to the Industrial Revolution, starting in the late 18th century. Suddenly we had machines like power looms that could do the work of dozens of skilled artisans. People were terrified. The Luddites in early 19th century England famously smashed machines, fearing their way of life and their livelihoods were being destroyed by automation. They weren't wrong that their specific jobs were changing, but their fear of total obsolescence was misplaced, as is evident when we look back in history. Fast forward to the mid-20th century, the 1960s and 70s, the dawn of computer age. There was widespread automation anxiety again. People genuinely feared that mainframes and early computers would replace millions of white-collar workers like bank tellers, typists, and accountants. And then came the internet age. In the late 90s and early 2000s, again, panic. Brick and mortar stores are dead, salespeople will be obsolete. The fear was that efficiency would shrink the job market until there was nothing left for humans to do. In hindsight, we know what happened. Each of these revolutions did destroy specific types of jobs, but by massively increasing productivity and lowering costs, they made goods and services cheaper. This fueled a huge increase in consumer demand, which created entirely new industries and millions of new jobs that nobody could have predicted. The pie didn't shrink, it got much bigger, just with different slices, with some new slices. Now Izat, to your point, does that mean everything is fine and this is just another cycle? Not necessarily. You are absolutely right that this time it feels different. And there are good reasons for that. Previous revolutions were mostly about replacing physical muscle or automating routine, repetitive tasks. The AI revolution is different because it's tackling cognitive tasks. We now have systems with a level of autonomy, processing vast amounts of data to make decisions, write code, and create content. To be precise, create creative content. The speed is also unprecedented. As you said, we learn for years, AI learns instantly. The rate of improvement in these models is exponential, far outpacing human biological evolution or traditional learning curves. That gap you mentioned, it is real and it is daunting. So are we doomed to become duller and just push buttons? Well, I still don't think so. But the definition of what it means to be a developer, especially a junior one, is radically changing right now. The value isn't in writing boilerplate code faster than Gemini. You cannot win that race. The value is shifting higher up the stack. It's about problem solving, system design, understanding user needs, and ethical judgment. Instead of being replaced, junior developers need to become AI native. You need to learn to wield these tools as powerful force multipliers. Your job isn't just to write code. It's to architect a solution and then guide, verify, and integrate the code that AI helps you generate. You become the conductor of an orchestra, not just the person playing the triangle. The knowledge gap feels bigger because the baseline has moved. You don't need to spend months memorizing syntax, but you do need a deeper understanding of fundamental concepts to know if the AI's output is garbage or genius. The effort isn't disproportionately more, it's disproportionately different. It's focused on higher level thinking now. Is that you are right to feel this way? To understand why this feels so heavy, we have to acknowledge a hard truth. The bar of entry for a career in tech has been rising for decades, long before ChatGPT ever existed. Think back 20 or 30 years. There was a time when knowing MS Word and Excel was a legitimate standalone skill set that could land you a stable office job. In the early 2000s, being a web designer meant you knew some HTML and maybe a bit of Photoshop. But the market got stricter. We moved from specialized silos to multi-faceted expectations. Companies stopped looking for just a UI designer or just a back-end coder. They started demanding full-stack developers. Now suddenly you had to know CSS, JavaScript, SQL, DevOps, and cloud architecture just to get an interview. Up until now, the progression was gradual. You had a few years to learn the next big framework. But what we are facing with AI isn't a gradual step, it's a quantum leap. We are entering an era where the junior developer is expected to be an AI orchestrator. Companies aren't just looking for someone who can write a function, they are looking for one human who can manage 10 AI agents to complete a project that used to require a team of 5 people. Does this mean the jobs are gone? History says no. But it says the strain is real. During the Industrial Revolution, a factory machine didn't just replace a weaver, it demanded a mechanic. During the computer age, the typist had to become a data processor. In every case, industrial, computer, or internet, consumerism exploded because production became cheaper. When things are easier to make, we want more of them. We won't have fewer apps in the future, we will have millions more. But they will be built by sovereign developers, individuals with the power of entire 20th century dev shops. Isaac mentioned a fear of becoming duller by shifting responsibility to tools. This is the greatest risk. If you only use AI to replace your thinking, you will become obsolete. But if you use AI to automate the mundane so you can focus on system design and product logic, you become indispensable. The new era will demand more from freshers than ever before. You don't just need to know how to code, you need to know how to audit code. You need to understand the why because the how is now a commodity. The gap isn't shrinking, Isaac, it's widening. But that gap is where the value lies. The world doesn't need more people who can type, it needs more people who can solve problems. The tools have changed, the stakes are higher, but the goal remains the same. Building something that matters. History teaches us that technology changes the nature of work, it doesn't eliminate it. The transition is scary and it will require adaptation, but don't let the fear of being replaced blind you to the opportunity of being augmented. Your human creativity, empathy, and critical thinking are things AI doesn't have. And let's hope that it will never have. Focus on those, use the tools to handle the rest, and you won't just survive this shift, you will define it. Thanks again for the comment, Isaac. It's a conversation we all need to be having.